part of, I believe, my function, my purpose is to mentor people along the way. And I've always been like that, to where the people that are close to me in my businesses, I want them to be successful. I don't expect them to work for me for their whole career. I want them to move on, do bigger and better things, and use this as a stepping stone. But we come to an agreement that there's a way I do things, and I'm going to show you that way. That doesn't mean that that's the way you have to do it, but I want to give you a template for how it worked for me, right? You know, and so mentoring has been a big part of what I've done over the last 20 years.
Did you experience being mentored that shaped you in that way?
No, I had zero mentoring.
Really? So was it a very desire?
Again, going back to it, maybe subconsciously, wishing I had a sounding board, which I did everything off the cuff, and everything I did was trying it for the first time, and I failed a lot, and I learned a lot by those failures. But they're not failures that necessarily need to be replicated by everybody, right? You know, you know, chances to take and chances not to take. Like when I first opened up, live music was a big deal in local bars and establishments, and we tried to be a live music place, and we were just getting crushed by ASCAP and BMI and the costs and the cost of the bands, and just weren't making our money back. And at some point we just decided, you know, we're gonna change the name of this bar from The Rock and having music every weekend to the Varsity Pub. We're going to bring in a different food, and we're going to go more of the corporate crowd, go for the Schwannies, the U.S. Bank crowd. And ultimately that paid off in spades. We never would be where we're at today and have these other businesses had that not taken off. Bringing the Paninos in was probably, you know, instrumental in making us different than everybody else.
Right. And I would agree. Even from an outside perspective, that's a very iconic experience.
Right. It's just something that everybody does burgers and fries, right? You know, so we're known as that place, and we lose some market share because there are people that are not interested in that, and then we don't have necessarily fare that they may want. But it's been, like you said, it's now iconic, and it is. And Mike Sweetman, my business partner, and the guy that leases the kitchen at the pub, has taken it to another level, which was originally started by Nate Wanzek, a friend of mine, and he moved on to other things, and Mike bought him out, and Mike's, like I said, taken it to another level. And the facility and our alcohol business and that food business really feed off of each other really well, and we grew it into a monster, really. To where, you know, I believe that only Applebee's and McDonald's were probably doing more business than us, and people wouldn't know that or recognize that, but it's true. I mean, we were doing. I'm a numbers guy. I'm open to numbers. You know, we were doing, you know, pre-pandemic, you know, $1.7 million a year in revenue out of that little place there. So
that's amazing. Yeah, that's amazing. So I guess one of my questions is, you know, I see you're driven. I would consider you humble. You got this mark of mentorship or wanting to kind of pour into people. Where do you feel like your I don't want to call it moral grounding, but just where do you feel like your priorities come from?
Mostly my mom, I think.
She kind of was instrumental in shaping.
She's a kind of a 60s hippie, civil rights marching. Type of person, and so there was always these standards that were set, you know, about not lying, not cheating, and you don't need that if you can't earn it. Type, you know, those attitudes. You know,
awesome.
So mostly her.
That's cool. Yeah, that's super cool.
But my dad was a self-employed businessman, and that I grew up that way, and that was he had lots of opportunities that to be super successful that he wasn't able to take because of his own personal problems. But I saw what was available if you do it right, you know. So